Good evening, everyone. I'm Father Bob and welcome to FMN, the Future Men Network. Today on the show we have Dr. Hector from Children's Hospital in Boston and of course myself, Father Bob from St. Bonaventure Church in Plymouth, Massachusetts. We will be discussing the debate of human cloning. Please welcome Dr. Hector.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Hector and I work at Children's Hospital in Boston, like Father Bob said. I work in the Organ Transplantation Center. Here, I see people of all ages, but mostly children. Most patients are waiting for organ donors to allow them to live.
And thank you. My name is Father Bob and I am the priest in St. Bonaventure Church in Plymouth, Massachusetts, as well as the host of this show. I clearly deal with people of the Catholic religion. Those who are usually against abortion as well as human cloning. So Doc, what is your view on human cloning?
Well, you see, from my standpoint I believe that we should move forward in the human cloning controversy. Human cloning can be beneficial in the health field. It would allow for lives to be saved every day.
Well, I deal with people of the Catholic religion and I speak on behalf of them that cloning is wrong. Very wrong.
But Father Bob, did you ever think of the children who are in need of a lung transplant? Or the children who are in need of the kidney transplant? What about the children who will die without a heart transplant?
Yes, they are struggling. But so is everyone else in the world. They must pray every day so that God will help them through life. It is not our job to help people who need organs. That is God's job.
With human cloning we can make human lungs, kidneys, and other organs that patients are in need of. Would this not be beneficial to all patients and not just the Catholics who pray?
But the technology is not safe enough to use on humans. When Dolly the sheep was created, 277 embryos were used and only one was healthy and able to be used to produce a sheep.
You are right, many embryos die before birth when cloned. However, the technology to create organs is not the same as cloning an entire human. Researchers study every aspect of cloning and the mammals that have survived cloning. Cloning is no different from other technology that is being created. Research is required to eliminate the risk of the procedure. Plus, in Britain, embryo research is allowed until the 14th day of development.
Does that not seem like a waste of embryos? If this is not safe, then why would they use the embryos in research? They could be harming the other cells.
But the point is that it is permitted in Britain. So, we could use the extra embryos from in vitro fertilization procedures, that are usually destroyed, to a good purpose in human cloning.
And what are these good purposes you speak of?
Look at this baby. This is Chase, a 3-month-old baby boy who lives at Children's Hospital and has for the last 3 months of his life. He is suffering from a rare heart condition and is in need of a new heart. His parents come to visit every day. They hope that someday they will be able to bring him home. However, there is a long list of people who are also in need of a heart donor, and the odds are against this young child. Most likely, he will die before he receives a heart. As of January 2012, there are 112,657 patients on the organ transplant waiting list. 1,800 of those patients are very young children.
What is your point? Organ donors are trying to help these patients. They are doing as much as they can.
Have you ever needed a new heart because your young, undeveloped heart is not working well enough? Have you ever had to live in the neonatal intensive care unit for 3 months? Have you ever had to be hooked to intravenous systems and feeding tubes? Do you really know what it feels like to be this young boy? Would God really want this for someone? Yes, the organ donors are doing as much as they can. And we thank them for that. But every 10 minutes a new name is added to the organ donation list. And somewhere around 18 people die each day because they did not receive an organ that they needed to live. With human cloning we can create new organs for these patients. We could save thousands of lives. There would no longer be such a thing as an organ donation list. Lab-created organs could help most of these patients. Look. This baby was lucky enough to receive a heart. He is happy.
This goes against God. It is messing with the natural human process of life.
Now wait, just 1 minute. That would mean that you know what God's intentions are. That is not humanly possible. There's no biblical statement on what God's intentions were about human cloning. Who's to say that God didn't want us to clone? Maybe He did want us to. But, for you to say that He did not want us to, is wrong.
But miss, it is unnatural to produce an entirely new human through asexual reproduction. We are humans, we reproduce sexually. God told us to. It was His wish.
Bacteria does it. Does it not? Who told bacteria to reproduce asexually?
God, I suppose. But if single people are able to produce offspring, then it will harm their family life. Children will only have one parent and will not receive the same love as children who have two parents. Every child needs to have both parents so that they are not denied the love of one parent. Many children will lack a father. A father is essential to the development of children. Without both parents, the child will grow up to be a misfit and potentially have psychological issues.
I find that very offensive. I happen to be the daughter of a single mother. I was raised with love and care, just as any other child should be. I, still to this day, have never met my father. He ran off on my mother when she was still pregnant with me, forcing my mother to raise me alone. However, I do not feel that I was deprived of love due to only having one parent. My mother loved me, and I loved her. Is that not all that matters?
Aye.
Plus, in today's society, single people are able to reproduce with or without a partner. In vitro fertilization is huge today, with not only women who are not able to reproduce naturally, but also women in homosexual relationships who would love to raise a child. Sperm donation receivers often go without knowing who the father of their child is. These children are still raised with love and care, just as I and probably you were.
That was not God's wish.
It still happened, did it not?
It should not have. They should not be able to have kids. That is just terrible.
Terrible? Really? I hope my points bring you a so. I also hope that Chase's circumstances bring you a so. Let us all hope that your gloomy skies of not cloning for the production of organs part way for the sun to come out. I hope that soon the sun will shine over Chase's body, his parents will look in awe, and he will be cured of his heart condition. Let's all pray for Chase, not only that he lives a beautiful life, but that he, and all of the others, receive organ donations before it is too late.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. We are out.